Hey guys, what's going on? This is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing a little mini review. I've talked about this knife before, but I wanted to do a little kind of mini video on it. This is the CKF Fif 20. That's FIF 20. This is from Custom Knife Factory. You can see the little logo there. And this is a pretty epic knife. It is headed out the door, so I wanted to do a quick little video on it, and then also give you guys an update on the RR3s, which are coming very soon. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. Of course, you can check out the RR stations, which are available right now at knifestandards.com. And let's talk RR3s. So, the goal is to get the RR3s out, all of the pre-orders, QC'd, packed up, and shipped out by the end of August. So I have not received them yet. It is August now. It's August, I don't know, 4th, 5th. So as soon as I get them, I'm going to be QCing, packing, and shipping all of the pre-orders, and then there will be a drop. So we're getting close. They are assembling over at Best Tech right now. So kind of in the final stages of their quality control process and assembly. So it shouldn't be that much longer now. I'm guessing mid-August to me, and then packed up, QC'd, packed up, and then shipped out to you guys, to everyone who pre-ordered. And then after the pre-order, there will be a drop. So maybe the drop late August, we'll see. So CKF Fif 20, I just wanted to go over this really quick. There are some awesome things about this knife, and then some things I wanted to talk about. Number one, the design is sick. This is super good looking. I love the carbon fiber inlay. Not only is the inlay done really well as far as the transitions go, but you have this milling pattern on the carbon fiber. They call it cool carbon fiber, but it's like this wave pattern, which feels awesome. You have titanium. It's a titanium frame lock, stone washed, and it almost looks like there's a little bit of ano, like a little bit of bronze ano on it, but you can't really tell that much if you don't look super close at it. This is a front flipper only, although I have seen some mods where they do a little fuller here that you can flick, which I think is really cool. The clip is solid, very straightforward, milled titanium clip. Let's talk about the action. Front flipper only, so it might be kind of, if you're not used to front flippers, a little bit intimidating. I know when I first started with front flippers, I was like, what the hell is this? But this is actually one of the best front flippers that I've ever handled. You kind of get your thumb right on the edge of here, and then boom. You can check out this beautiful, there's a thumbprint there, beautiful hand rub satin, this horizontal satin on the M390 blade, full flat ground blade. Check out, you can see the M390, that's the serial number 44. Lockup looks excellent. Got some internal milling. I don't know if you guys can see that. A little bit tough to see. Internal milling on the inside. The action is really crazy. Like the D10 is great. That front flip was really satisfying, but look at this. I mean, talk about guillotine, like watch your fingers. So the action is just crazy, and that's one of the really nice things about the CKF knives. Their action is just sick. You know, and let's compare it to another front flipper only that I have. Much lighter on the Rex Sparrow, but it's a little bit smaller too. As far as action goes, the D10 is a little bit lighter on the Rex Sparrow. Still pretty smooth, not like chop your fingers off, where this is just a little bit stiffer on the D10, and then just as smooth, but a little bit more drop shut, if that's what you're into. One thing that I did want to talk about really quick, although, by the way, this backspacer is pretty epic, which doesn't really have to do with this knife, because I think the knife is awesome. The design is cool. It's clean. The inlay is great. The blade shape, drop point, very kind of classic. Ergos are awesome. The one thing I want to talk about is they just came out with, someone told me they came out with a pre-order for, I guess, the next model in this line from Custom Knife Factory. I guess it's the Fif, maybe Fif 18. And the pre-order is a year or more. I think they said late 2025 or maybe mid 2025. That's crazy. There's no reason for that. That's wild. I mean, number one, it's a bigger, you know, they're making thousands of knives, Custom Knife Factory. So when you're making that many knives, do you really need to do a pre-order? I mean, you got to think of why are they doing a pre-order? You know, if you're a small business, small designer, you know, micro brand, I get it. It's part of the business. You know, the pre-orders make the business go around. You know, like that's part of it. There are tons of pros to doing pre-orders when you're a small business or a micro brand. But when you're a bigger company like CKF and you're doing thousands and thousands of knives, why are you doing a pre-order anyway? And then on top of that, a year. I don't usually complain that much on my videos, but like that's just crazy. That's just crazy. A year, and then you see what happened with the Evo, the CKF Evo. That was crazy too. It was like 15, 16 months, if I remember. You know, tell me if I'm wrong, but so that's just wild. That is absolutely wild. They could put it in production, come out with it, sell it. They have, you know, they're selling thousands of knives. There's a lot of demand. So I'm not sure why it takes a year. Now listen, there are delays. You know, sometimes the production is supposed to be 4 months and ends up being 7, or it's supposed to be 6 months and ends up being 9. Like I totally get that. You know, it's sometimes as a designer or as a company, we're at the mercy of the OEM, you know, of the factories, but no reason to have a pre-planned 1 year pre-order. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I saw that a couple of days ago. And I just thought, whoa, no one's talking about that. You know, I see people talking about smaller brands and micro businesses that are doing pre-orders, and people are saying, oh, don't do the pre-order, don't get in on the pre-order. Well, no, do the pre-order, support the pre-order for the small brands, for these small makers, for these small designers, these, you know, kind of startup knife brands. Definitely do the pre-order, support them. I would never do a pre-order for a year in advance for a mass-produced production knife. And I'm not saying this is, but the new one, the Fif, I think the Fif 18, this was probably one of the longest pre-orders that I did, and there's good reason for it. These both just happen to be front flippers, but this is handmade. This is a mid-tech. One guy made this. He had the parts cut and then assembled and finished it. So it's one guy making it, and he made 50 of these. Totally understandable. This, although not this specific knife, absolutely crazy. Craziness. Anyway, I happen to really like this knife. The action is pretty wild. But no, I would not get in on a year pre-order for a mass-produced knife. And I think it's crazy that they are doing pre-orders. Anyway, there's my rant for the day. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you later.